this world has been connected. And now darkness within darkness awaits you.
In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
My name is Ansem. I reach for the darkness.
One who knows nothing can understand.
Tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report Podcast. Yeah. This is episode number 221. I almost said 2 in the longest running Kingdom Hearts podcast in the world. My name is Mike, and with me as always, MDA award winner, my brother, Bald Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo, I'm not really that bald right now, but I'm bald.
He's
I'm bald at
bald,
heart.
but he let his hair, he's lazy.
I'm bald at heart.
He's bald at, we're all bald at heart, you know? I think everybody's bald at heart. This is, like I said, episode 221. We were talking about episode 222 before this, which is why I almost said 222. Would have been a hilarious blunder by me.
It would have been hilarious.
It would have been hilarious. Speaking of hilarious and fun and great, you're listening to this episode on the date released, like you all should be, and that means March Caprice is still going on right now, and the concert soiree, I believe, is tomorrow and Sunday, so check that out. I hope you've been enjoying all the March Caprice stuff all week. We are very sorry that we couldn't be involved this year because, well, my life outside of this podcast bubble is a hellscape, so...
True.
I unfortunately did not have time. I shouldn't say don't, because that implies I never will, but didn't have time this year to be involved. We're hoping, I did say the SpikeGhetti Bros will return to March Caprice in March Caprice 6 or 7. So, March Caprice 7.
Surely.
I have said that before. That's stuff you can go back into an episode and I'll have said that probably. But yeah, go check out March Caprice. Support all our favorite people and maybe some people you've never heard of before, and check out all the cool stuff. I know Lands did like a interview series with a bunch of the streamers, like we've done in the past. So shout out to our boy Lands, the master.
That's my goat.
That's my goat. Jason, before we get diving into the book club, where we played through Hollow Bastion 1 and 2 and sealed the Olympus keyhole, I have a bit of a rant. I have a bit of a topic. I know. It's been a long time since I've been triggered.
Off with a rant.
It's been a long time since I've been triggered by the Kingdom Hearts community, but I don't think I can stay silent on this one. Recently, the Missing Link website disappeared from the internet. As it should. The game is canceled, right? There's no reason for the website to stay up.
Yeah.
But this kind of brought up this sentiment that I see from people. And I'm not picking on anyone specifically, although I did interact with Lunar Lux on Twitter about this because he had this opinion. And, Lunar's a good guy and everything. I'm not trying to pick on him specifically, but because I've seen this all over. But the sentiment is, I hope the people that didn't want Missing Link are happy that you canceled this game, basically, is the sentiment. I can't believe people would support a game being canceled. And while I understand the sentiment of, hey, I wanted more Kingdom Hearts content, I would much rather have them not make a game. Mobile is fine. Like, it's not the mobile that's the problem. The problem is the gacha style game that Square Enix likes to create on mobile. And it's
go off.
Naturally predatory. It's a slot machine in a game. It's walking into a casino, but instead of like winning actual money, you're just giving them money, and then you get some kind of digital asset that in a couple years they're going to eliminate because the game will no longer be profitable.
Yeah, so
right?
The same thing would have happened. You just would have lost all your money.
Right.
Or not
like
all of it, but
at least with a slot machine or a casino game, there is a small chance that you could win actual money. Like there's a small that's not likely.
Everyone knows you quit right before you're about to hit big.
Well, right, for sure. But it's not likely that you will win, right?
Yeah.
But there are laws saying that, hey, there has to be a chance to win, otherwise this is just a scam. These guys they have these laws, but they're for digital assets that they are going to rip from you once the game is no longer in service.
Yeah, if you read the terms of service on these mobile games, bro, like you have no rights, and you just like they literally hire psychologists to figure out like how to get you to part with your money. Like it's crazy.
And the sentiment I've seen from people is like, well, at least there would be content for people to create content. Like, is this how little self-confidence we have as a Kingdom Hearts community that we need them to drip feed story while just taking our money? You don't have to do the gacha. You don't have to. It doesn't matter if you have to do the gacha or not. It's predatory. It stinks. I will wait 10 more years for Kingdom Hearts 4 before being excited about a game that's there to literally just steal my money. It's literally a bank account for them that they disguise as a video game, and then they get you by going, well, we're gonna reveal who Darkness is. We're gonna like Union Cross was a terrible game. I'm sorry. I know people liked it. I know people like the story. I'm not commenting on the story. The gameplay is whatever. It's typical mobile game. But the gacha element of it makes it a horrible game. It just does. And I don't care how much you liked Damo's dub of it. I don't care how much you like the Union Cross 5 minutes when we used to do that, right? We engaged with it because there was content for it. But I just don't want to do that again. So pardon me and pardon all these other losers, quote unquote, out there, if we think that Missing Link getting canceled is music to our ears, because it is. I'm done having kid gloves on about it. I get people are sad about it. You are brainwashed. You are brainwashed. We can wait for games. We can have patience. We don't need these shitty. The Cydia game just came out, Jay, and I downloaded it because I wanted to know about it, because I liked Opera Omnia, even though Opera Omnia as well, I was brainwashed. I'm here to admit it. I was brainwashed into playing Opera Omnia, right? Because I liked the gameplay.
There's a ton of characters that you have certain levels of attachment to that you like, and they use moments from those games. They use moments from those games that you're like, oh, that was so cool in the game. I gotta have that. And then now it's just all gone. It's all gone.
There's a reason people do it. There's a reason people do it. It's fun to pull slot machines.
There's cool colors and lights and sounds.
Right. And so
that have literally been designed.
They released a Cydia game. And this game isn't even about pulling characters. It's about pulling abilities for those characters.
Okay.
So, like, for example, they give you a character to start.
Weapons.
You also pull characters, by the way, but there's not that many characters, what? So it can't be. Yeah, you also pull characters. So, but there's only like 10 characters or something. Okay. But the main pull thing is abilities. You might start with Lightning, and she has 5 abilities, and one of them is fire. And then you pull for her, and you get Viagra, right? And then you can put that in your loadout. And then you can upgrade those abilities. And then you pull abilities, you draw for abilities a certain amount of times, and then you get a character draw, right? So then you can draw a character. So one thing they do to start the game, because I only played about a half hour of it, to be honest, because honestly, I don't think the gameplay is that engaging either, so I don't think I'm going to hang on for it. But I wanted to know about it because I knew I was going to talk about this today. You start with one of 4 characters, Lightning, Cloud, Warrior of Light, and Terra from FF6. And you pick which one of those you want. It's cool. That's great. Then they give you a character draw that you can redo as many times as you want to get one of the 10 or 12 characters, right? Cool. That's great. Like, cool. Let me pull until I get Prompto or Zidane or whatever, right? And then you get an ability pull and you can redo that as much as you want. But then after that, there's not redos. And it's the same gacha format as the other ones. So you're pulling abilities in what is a PvP game.
It's a PvP? Oh, jeez.
So it's PvPvE, right?
Oh,
so
geez.
you go into the game with 2 other teammates.
Diablo Immortal is going on right now.
It's 3v3, and you go in with 2 other people. So it's a 3v3. And then the goal is to kill the boss first. But in order to do damage to the boss, you have to build up bravery, which is a concept in Opera Omnia, or not Opera, in Dissidia.
Yeah.
Build up bravery by defeating mobs or by attacking the other team and stealing their bravery.
Okay.
Each team has a health bar for the boss, and you want to whittle down your boss's health bar before they do.
Right.
And that's the game. So it's PvPvE. Someone could drop a bunch of money. It's ranked, by the way. They have a ranked system. And someone could just drop a bunch of money and theoretically be much better than me, even if I was more skilled than them.
Right. Just stat stick you.
And that, to me, is absolutely insane and not a game that I want to play. While I don't think Missing Link was going to be like the PvP aspect of it, they were going to find the scummiest way to drain money from your wallet. There are other video games, guys. There are other video games to play. There are so many other video games.
Can we hold them to like a higher standard, please? Like it's just like it's literally designed where like if you play, you don't have to give it money, and people who are giving more money are paying for the game for me, and it's like, bro, you're sitting in a digital cuck chair in your own house playing a franchise that you care about. You should be more mad about this. Like,
you should.
When they drop new content, it'll be like, okay, how do we let's design a new character or a new ability or a new card or whatever, a new medal that has a very specific ability that is the only way to defeat the highest level of the new event. And it'll be like a limited time event, and okay, so here is like the Zig bar new medal, and it does this crazy damage over time that stacks, and it's quite literally the only way to get to the end of this event. And at the end of the event, if you beat the event, you get like a ton of shit. And so like it's in your own best interests, like, you know, you went through this whole event free to play, and then now you've hit a wall. But if you just had just like 10% more power, you could then get a ton of like more pulls or something like that, right? Where it's like, you could like max this medal out if you just spent like $5 right now. And then it's like, just rinse and repeat that over and over. Like they get you with your time, and then you're like, you realize as a gamer naturally, like, this is how I can get stronger. This is how I can optimize what things have like a certain perceived value, because this is how I know I can get stronger. And if I just give $5 or $2 or whatever it is right now, then I can complete this and I'll get even more. So I'll get a lot more for my money. And it's just like, bro, like when you like zoom out, that's like your internal monologue about this. Like you're literally getting manipulated by a franchise that you know and love. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I get that there's people who also be like, but it helps fund the other later games, and that's why I don't care, and all this other bullshit. It's like, or they could have just not spent any of that money or any of that time to do that, and then just make an actual video game that you can play, and that isn't predatory to take your money.
Right. It's just very frustrating to me to make these points with people, and I'm like, hey, like, this is predatory. And then have people be like, how is it predatory? For one, that's just the most like disingenuous take you could possibly have.
Yeah.
How is Union Cross predatory? Didn't they charge like $15 a week?
The VIP
or something like
shit.
that, Jay?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, yeah.
It was like an early version of like a battle pass, which this Final Fantasy game has a battle pass as well, of course. And it's like, it charged $15 a week, and that's not, I'm sure that got you a couple pulls or something, but like that's not even on top of just buying pulls, okay? And just to like drip feed a story that would have been much better in a not mobile game or a handheld game, like a Switch game or a DS game or even just a full-fledged game, I would much rather have that. But it's just so frustrating for people's argument to be, well, you don't have to engage in that. And it's like, so why is this better? Why is this what you want? If your goal is to get this story out of this game and get that, the fun characters and all the stuff that you love about Kingdom Hearts out of this game, it's not the gameplay that's drawing you in because it's just tap the screen, right?
Right.
So it's the story solely. Why is this better than them just releasing a game? Like, explain to me why this is, you were okay with this.
Or like,
I don't understand. If you're okay with this,
anime,
and your answer is, my friends get to make content that I get to watch on the internet, you are brainwashed. You are absolutely brainwashed. You're following the pack like a sheep. You need to wake the fuck up. Like, this is like insane that you're okay with this. And again, I used to be very sensitive to when Missing Link was canceled, not like dancing on its grave, because I didn't want to upset people, because I know people were upset about it. But if you think about this for 5 minutes, people, this is a win. I'm sorry. It's a win. I know people thought Missing Link was going to be Pokemon Go again, and it was going to bring people together. It wasn't. Okay? It was going to be, because I don't trust Square Enix to not just do the lowest, scummiest thing when it comes to these mobile games, because they have done it every single time in their mobile games. Every single time. I wouldn't say Pokemon Go is necessarily a scummy model. They make you pay for Pokeballs sometimes, but I think they give you enough ways to like spin Pokestops and do the stuff to get balls to play, right? It's still not ideal.
Well, and from what I remember too, it's like there was never like an urge where like you really need to do this in order to get this, and there's like, oh, limited time event or yeah. And maybe it's changed now, but when Pokemon Go was at its highest point, pandemic era, that kind of stuff, it was not that. It was not a gotcha. You weren't drawing for like, oh, I really want Snorlax, but he's a 2% chance, but if I keep drawing, I'll get Snorlax. That's not what it was. I'm not confident that that's not what Missing Link was. Yeah, the scummy part of that was that it used all your fucking camera data to train AI.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different story. But my point is, this was not going to be Pokemon Go. That was like the best case scenario, and it wasn't going to be that. And I think Square Enix saw that and said, hey, we need to get out on this. Maybe the answer was, hey, we can't make this scummy enough to make money, right? Like the way this game's designed, we can't make it scummy enough, we'll make money, so we're going to cancel it. I don't know. But the point is, it's a win for the Kingdom Hearts community to not have this game. And I know that's hard to see for some people, but if you stop just focusing on the one specific thing, if you stop trying to just see the forest for the trees here, or not seeing the forest for the trees, you'll understand. This was a win for the community. And I'm sick of people, when I have that opinion, and it's like, I'm not, I know I just said like you're brainwashed and said you're like that's hyperbolic, but like my opinion is like, hey, I'm glad this game was canceled because of this. And then people to be like, well, you're a fucking loser for getting this game canceled. Yeah, fuck you. That's not okay. Like, I'm not, and there's a lot of people that feel the way I do, but because of the sentiment of the community that this game is canceled, because most of the time, a game getting canceled isn't good for anybody. I'll agree with that. But when the game that was canceled was going to deliver one of my favorite game series in a medium that I cannot stomach, no, right. It's great that it was canceled. I'm so happy it was canceled. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody. I'm sorry if that you go, wow, Mike really hates video games. Like, I don't care. I don't want my favorite video game series, one of my favorite video game series, to be delivered to me in this classic Square Enix scam model. I just don't want it. And you shouldn't want it either.
Well, and just as a final thing too, it's like there are so many video series and content creators that like a large part of their content is talking to people who have whaled in different video games. And for people who don't know what whale is, it's where you just drop tons and tons and tons of money in a gacha game, typically. When they interview these people, a lot of times they don't have the type of money to be spending as much as they do.
No.
And
No,
it's literally as you listen to the interview, you literally hear it's like, oh, you know, at first it was just small things here and there, things like events, and oh, I felt like I was getting I felt like I was getting one over on them kind of thing because I was just getting so much value from my money, quote unquote, and then it turned into like, oh, well, like this is like my main game that I'm like playing a lot because I'm doing all the free to play stuff and I'm whaling, and then there's like anything that has like ranked leaderboards and stuff, and a lot of those games it's like, oh, if you place first you get like a ton of rewards, and then oh, if you place like top 1%, or like there's tons of different models, but it's like basically you're incentivized to pay more, and it's just a rat race straight down to the bottom of who can spend more in order to get more, basically. And essentially you just find out that like, oh, like these people don't have tons of money, but they can feel a level of like wealth or a level of importance, or like it literally just like feeds your pride and ego to be like a top percentage in anything. And so they can do it through this mobile game at the detriment to like a lot of times their credit, and like because they just put it all on a credit card, and there's just so many. Like you invest your time, and a lot of times, like with something like a Dissidia that uses Final Fantasy, or like with Kingdom Hearts, it's like, oh, here's this like really, really emotional moment from this game, and we've now turned it into a card or an ability or whatever, right? And now you have like an emotional attachment. I know I've said this before. It's like a lot of people connect with Shion in the trans community or non-binary community and go like, yeah, here's this character's moment, and now you have this huge attachment to this character in this moment, and now they've paywalled it, and so you feel like, oh, well, it's my favorite, it's different, and it's just like you're just being manipulated so much, and it literally ruins people's lives. I'm sorry that you don't get your drip feed dog shit content where you literally just log in on your phone every day, do like tap the screen and go through and do your like auto clears on dungeons and do your pulls and make sure that you do enough. Oh, I'll get my pity pull and all this other types of bullshit that like the Kingdom Hearts community just doesn't need. And
no community needs it.
I'm good. I'm so good. I'll take the hit of no content, of a drought, of all that bullshit in order to not have that. I don't care.
And you make a good point about that, Jay, but I want to be clear. Like, I'm not looking down on anybody that's been trapped in that, because I spent way more money on Dissidia Opera Omnia than I'm willing to admit to you guys right now. Like, that was me for that game. Like, and I didn't like, lose my mortgage or anything, but I spent some money that I should not have spent on it, and not even just because it was a waste of time and they yanked it out from me, but because like it was just not smart, responsible, and I got pulled into it, So I think it can happen to anybody, and that's my problem with going, well, I wish they would have made this game, even though some people would have gotten, pulled into this gotcha. Like, I just can't get behind that mentality.
And it's literally designed in order, like, you cannot clear, like, if people are like, well, just don't interact with that, just only do it for the story. It's like, no, it is literally designed to pull you deeper and deeper through literal psychology. Like, literal psychologists get hired to do these type of fucking things in order to like in for a penny, in for a pound type of shit. Like, oh, well, I'm deeper and deeper and deeper and all this type of stuff. It just is, you literally get slow boiled. And it's just basically the gaming community in general is just getting the temperature on like how much people are okay with just getting absolutely milked for more and more money, and like for pixels in a video game that's gonna go away, and you're gonna feel so robbed once it's gone. Like
they're gonna take it away from you, man, and it's so crazy. Like, and anyway, we've beat a dead horse here. You know, if you are someone who listened to this conversation. If you're someone who listened to this conversation and were like, wow, I don't really like what they had to say about it, I understand, but like really, really think about, you know, what we actually lost with Missing Link getting canceled. I understand lamenting the story being gone, but we lost a predatory game that was going to take up a bunch of your time and money and not really give you any benefit for it. So anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to jump into the book club. Welcome back to the Ansem Report Podcast. All right, Jason, let's dive into the book club today. Today, we have asked and tasked you with completing the Olympus Keyhole and then Hollow Bastion 1 and 2. I did this in the order of Olympus Keyhole first, then Hollow Bastion 1 and 2. Is that what you did as well?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a lot to say about the Olympus Keyhole. You get through the last tournament and you fight Hercules, and it's a decently designed boss fight, I think. You know, he has a mechanic where you hit him with a barrel while he's invincible, and then he becomes vincible. And I think it's a well done it's a well done way of having that kind of humanoid boss fight where Hercules is clearly supposed to be canonically stronger than Sora, but you give Sora an edge by having a little mechanic in there that helps, right?
Yeah.
I think Hercules reveals later in the cutscene that he was taking it easy on us, which makes sense.
Shout out Sean Astin.
Yeah, shout out Sean Astin, the GOAT. I think he's like the president of the Screen Actors Guild or something now. He's like, he's that guy.
Okay.
Okay, Sean. Okay. One thing I found interesting is that you fight Hercules one-on-one, Sora's choice. He's like, yeah, I want to take you on one-on-one. And then in the cutscene, they're like, wow, you did it, kid. And he's like, yeah, I realized that my friends are my power. Not even Hercules stands a chance when we're together. It's like, well, wait a minute. You just fought him by yourself.
Yeah, wait. What?
Thematically, I don't know that lined up. Like, I get that he got through the whole tournament with his friends, but like, you purposely did this
for no reason other than just like pride.
Yeah.
Like, you succumbed to pride and then claimed.
Phil starts to like dispute what Sora said, and Hercules kind of interrupts him, and he's like, yeah, your friends are great, isn't that right, Phil? And he picks him up, and it's one of my favorite shots in Kingdom Hearts is he picks him up under his arms like a baby, and like holds him out, and it's like Phil made a poopy.
Looking like so funny, like he's holding baby Simba.
Yeah, it's like, Phil made a poo poo, baby go boom boom, you know.
Yeah.
Hercules backs him up, and we get the dope ass handshake, you know, like the Predator handshake.
Oh yeah,
which is tight as shit. You get Olympia, which is a really good Keyblade. You learn Yellow Trinity. A lot of things happen. So then you can Yellow Trinity the pedestal, reveal the keyhole of Olympus, and lock it up. And that's basically, I mean, there's other cups later, obviously more endgame cups that happen.
You
but
can like solo and time trial. Yeah.
Right. This is basically the story of Olympus wrapped up here.
I don't know. I like the Colosseums, bro. And I think that like compared to like what we'll see in KH2, I think it's really awesome that like you still get experience from it as well. Something you can repeat. I remember like playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 again once I was like a teenager with like a more developed brain and having nostalgia for a lot of moments in the games and wanting to go back and play those, but you know, there's kind of like that melancholy of beating a game that like that world is like no longer alive really, because you can't go and interact with those things you've already interacted. You can't go do those things you've already done without replaying through the whole game, right? And so that's when I started like, okay, I'm going to go through and make a save for every single Disney boss and every single, like, if it's Cage 2, like, organization boss and stuff like that. And Coliseums make it so I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And
I think one of the biggest Cage 3 misses is no Coliseum.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I really, really hope that they have a Coliseum in Cage 4. It's just fun.
It doesn't have to be Olympus, right? They can theme somewhere else as a Coliseum, like
yeah.
It could be Star Wars or something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be Olympus again.
We're in Geonosis, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then there's like the little bug guys in the crowd cheering and stuff, and then like that would be dope.
Maybe Donald is wearing the Padme clothes, and he gets like the hot ass rip on his back.
True.
You
honestly,
all know what I'm talking about.
I feel like Goofy would have that. And then Donald would be like the Obi-Wan kind of character in that.
Okay.
Situation.
So you think Goofy would be wearing the tight ass white outfit and then get the scratch on his back?
Yeah.
And it would be very formative for a young Mike.
And then they'd fake his death, like later. It's like, oh no, he got scratched and killed, but then he's okay.
All I'm saying is, if you watch that movie, George Lucas is a freak, bro, and we already knew that.
Right.
But he's a real freak, okay? Because that was
Capital
like,
F
oh
freak.
shit, that was a very formative moment for young
young
Michael.
man watching Star Wars.
Yeah. For young Michael, that was very formative. So after Olympus, you go back to Hollow Bastion because you have to give Sid the gummy. And he walks away to go presumably install the gummy, I guess. And Sora's pretty down and sad, and Goofy and Donald are trying to cheer him up. And he's like, you guys haven't seen your king yet. Aren't you worried? Like, this is not going how we wanted it to go. And they're just kind of like, you know, ultimate optimists. Like, hey, as long as we stick together, it'll all work out. It's very striking
that they say that.
Because of the order we did it, where like in Olympus, he's like, as long as I got my friends beside me, we can do anything. And then they're like, you go to the next place and he's like, man, this sucks.
Dude, but it's kind of like, real though. It's like, it's so over. We're so back. It's so over. We're so back.
Right. And then we get a very infamous cutscene, as Sora is told to believe, of Sora flying towards the light, and we get the Kyrie's grandma story.
Hell yeah.
Where we see a young Kyrie going to her grandma, and she tells her a story about how back in the day, everybody loved light and was bathed in light, and then they began to fight over the light, and darkness was born in their hearts. And this story it's almost like one of the only things in KH1 that like seemed somewhat like planned. Like,
right.
Like, it's the only real hint that Nomura kind of gives you that, hey, I've thought about this more. Because this was supposed to be like a one-off game, right? They weren't necessarily planning there to be sequels. And so this is like some outside lore that you get, at least in the story. I
Huge
know
world building.
The secret movie obviously hints at another game, and then they added the unknown boss fight to kind of tease that later. But the whole point, this story for Kingdom Hearts 1 perspective, is that she ends the story with, even in the dark, there will always be a light to guide you, which is something that Sora kind of takes to heart here, and we see him use it later on, that mentality. And so that's what its purpose is here, but it definitely is leading to like, hey, what else is going on here? You know, he's astral projecting.
Yeah,
it seems like
he's kind of using the tech from KH3, if you know type shit.
Yeah, true.
On the low.
True. So he kind of like wakes up and is like, huh? And Donald and Goofy are just kind of like, what's wrong? So it seems like mere seconds passed. Like it doesn't seem like a lot of time has passed at all. You know, we find out pretty quick here why he's able to have that kind of dream from like kind of Kyrie's perspective. And so Sid installs the gummy and sends you on your way. You can also go visit Geppetto and Pinocchio in their house now and get the Wishing Star Keyblade if you want. And he also, Geppetto's thing is he gives you like gummy ship blueprints.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Pre-made.
I'm not particularly using them in this round, but it's cool. And then you can fly to Hollow Bastion, which is the second worst gummy flight in the game. Only preceded by the Hollow Bastion 2 gummy flight, which is god awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you end up at Hollow Bastion, and you end up in what you would recognize if you've never played this game before as the area where Riku wakes up early on in the game. And this world is very important to me. It's basically, and to you, it's basically the aesthetic of our podcast, from the music.
Our whole personality.
It's really our whole personality. The music in this world is tight. I love the waterfall area, even though when you zoom out and look at it, it's just like basically this weird big like watery cavern
hole in the ground where the water's going up the walls. It's
supposed
really
to
cool.
represent. It's cool, but it's supposed to represent that this world has like kind of died, and the only thing that really exists is this castle now, right? It doesn't. When you think about it, within the lore of Kingdom Hearts, it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Because like when Destiny Island was done, it was done, right? But this world was taken, and presumably Maleficent made it so the castle did disappear somehow.
It's probably
they
like
don't really
Ansem on the low, there's like heartless imagery, like, there's like the giant room at the end. There's like a giant embroidered, rug of a giant heartless symbol, and it's like, I just imagine like Ansem made that shit himself,
He sewed that shit?
Yeah, he sewed that shit.
Yeah, dude. He had a lot of time when he was Sack Ansem.
Dude, also I just gotta say, the Hollow Bastion theme, it's a top 5 level theme of all time. And it's not 5, and it's not 4, and it's not 3, and it's not 2. Okay? It's a top 5. It's so fucking good, dude. Also, it's so good. I immediately neuron activate whenever I hear like the very beginning of it. And I had 2 moments where the game like glitched and just was like trying to play the Hollow Bastion theme. It was so weird. It was like in the transition from the cut, like the in-game, like you're talking to Sid with text, and then as it transitioned into the actual voiced cutscene, I just heard the theme for a split second, which was super weird. Because, like, I'm also not in that world, and it doesn't immediately bring you to that world. And even when it does, it doesn't even... It plays Kyrie's theme. It doesn't play Hollow Bastion, so it's super weird. And then I got that same bug again later. Where was it? Where, like, it just, like, starts trying to play the first note. Oh, it's when going into that big room where like they show all the princesses and stuff, but like it just like the first like downbeat note and like maybe like the downbeat note and then like the like half up, like I just know that it's Hollow Bastion. It was just such a weird bug that I've never heard or seen.
I have one thing to say on that. Hashtag fix Khan PC.
Yeah, fix Khan PC, bro.
Fix Khan, dude. Fix Khan. So as you progress through the water area, and there's all kinds of chests, and you have glide now, so you can access most of them. You can freeze the bubbles, by the way. Hashtag regular Pat Facts. I would like to unsubscribe from regular Pat Facts. You reach Riku and Beast, and Riku's kind of like, Riku's got the high ground, Anakin, and he's talking to Beast, and he's like, you didn't have a vessel, you didn't have a ship. How did you get here? And Beast is like, I simply believed. Nothing more to it. And you're like, oh, shit. We get what is maybe, Jason, the most controversial cutscene in Kingdom Hearts for me.
Especially in retrospect.
I
had like a very weird... So basically, I'm obviously playing the game in Japanese, and the delivery of the lines
Can you stop talking about Japanese so much, please?
Well, it was pretty unemotional for how I remember it, right? And so I'm like, I wonder if just like the English like direction was better or something, because they're like just talking very like matter of fact kind of thing in Japanese. And so like when he collapsed to the floor, I like don't really like feel anything, and I was just like, this is so weird. Am I misremembering this? Like, Because I remember like watching it as a kid, like being like very devastated and like really feeling like, oh man, like Sora's lost his friends and the Keyblade, like, and just like remembering it being so much like more sad. So I went and watched the cutscene in English again, and I just was like kind of taken aback at like, for one, it's a mouth flappy like cutscene, like there's no budget put into it. And then also some of the direction feels like it was like kind of half baked, like when it cuts to Riku saying like, sorry, you were just the delivery boy, you can go play hero. And like some of the like cutting, whether it's like the pause or like it's like a hard cut to a different camera angle, it just, between the delivery of the lines and the low budget and some of the camera work or whatever, I was just like so taken aback, because I remember as a kid being like so emotionally affected by this scene, and it just feels very much the opposite to me having played it this time. And I literally like, I had a playlist, shout out Gameplay Sharks on YouTube that has just like a playlist of every single cutscene. I then was like, well, this is the OG version, right? Like this isn't like this is like an old version of the cutscenes or whatever, is like what I'm thinking. Even though this video was posted 7 years ago, I was like, maybe in the 1.5 version of the English, it's better or something. I don't know. So then I went out of my way. I like go on Wayfinder Project, find the scene again.
Shoutouts.
And then they just were using the Gameplay Sharks playlist for it. So I was like, wait a second. Like, is this cutscene just not as good as I remember it?
Yeah, I think you're remembering it differently, because it is, despite the production things, I think it's still emotionally effective. But as I've grown into a more of a person, it just really doesn't make sense to me, and that's my problem with it. First of all, I do enjoy, we skipped over this, but Beast and Riku face off, and Riku kind of does like an anime like sprint at him, and then the scene fades, and then it comes back and Beast just collapse, and I do enjoy that.
Tight.
I think that's fun. Yeah. It is kind of weird how Sora, Donald, and Goofy just kind of walk up as Beast is collapsing. They're just like, oh hey, what's up?
They're like, oh.
But Riku gives him this speech about how he's not really the Keyblade master, there can't be two of them. And Riku takes it, and he goes, you're just delivery boy. And then he throws the wooden sword at him, go play hero with this, which, you know, pretty rude by Riku. And he walks away. And then here's where I have the problem, and I think everybody knew where I was getting at with this. But Donald and Goofy just kind of go, all right, well, I guess we got to follow this fucker now. We have to remember our mission, is what Donald says. And Goofy kind of questions it a second. Donald's like, no, dude, we got to go. So they're like, sorry, Sora, and they leave. And it just, again, it's also they can, you know, in the when you see Riku again, they can jump sides again and help Sora, right? But there's just nothing other than, hey, the king said this thing to make them go, hey, we need to abandon our friend, right? For this clearly person who is acting evil.
When you're like 20 hours, 30 hours later from that cutscene, what the king said, you're like pretty far detached from it at this point. You probably forgot that that's
and what
their
they
mission.
should have done, even though it doesn't make it perfect, what they should have done is have Riku say something along those lines like, hey, come on, fellas, you're supposed to follow the Keyblade Master, right? To at least put that idea in their head, because it just seems like they're just ready to like just betray Sora at the drop of a hat, right? And it's
or have it where it's like Riku is like, yeah, I'm your real friend, these guys are fake, watch how they leave you, kind of thing. Even though like he's also just like robbing you basically.
Right, yeah. Like I'm just saying they could have done more to like set that up. Right. Especially when you consider they were just talking about how like, hey, together we can do this, right? They were just saying that to him. They didn't say, hey, and they did say, hey, we're following like what Mickey told us to do. But like they don't go, so you know, I don't know. It just seems so like unbelievable, and especially when you consider Donald has never been in on Riku. Like Donald's been like, fuck this guy. He can't come with us. He's an asshole. Blah blah blah. And then for him to just go, well, he's got the Keyblade now. It just seems like such an evil plot for them to just go along with. And
that's how girls switch up when they find out you're forklift certified, bro. They're like,
I guess
I would never talk to him. He's a loser. Yeah, but I'm forklift certified, girl. They're like, oh my God.
I do understand the need to make Sora be on kind of his darkest moment here. Like, I get it. And then have using Beast to be like, hey, I'm not giving up, even though this guy just fucked my shit up, right?
Right.
And Sora going,
he just
shit,
literally
he's
one
not
shot
giving
me,
up.
and there was spectators.
Yeah.
It's not even like I got one shot and nobody knew. Right. Like, you guys literally witnessed it.
Right.
And didn't help me.
Right. So, but I do understand like what they're trying to do. I just think it was executed a little poorly.
Yeah. Well, I end up liking the result of like, you know, feeling powerless without the Keyblade. You really feel not having it because you can't attack with it. You're having to rely on either magic or just Beast entirely. I remember as a kid, like, I'm not using magic unless it's like obvious I need to as a kid, right? And so it's like, it feels very scary as a kid to play through that. And I still like it. There's one nitpick that I have with it that, like, I think if the only time I get, it's like at first you transition, like you go from the water area to like the very front of the castle. And one small detail that I really like about this world specifically is that the screen transitions of loading from one area to another. I actually really like how they use like the lifts and stuff, because you don't really like get that type of stuff in modern games. And I think it makes it so that like you have less constraints in level design, right? Like there doesn't have to be like a super logical path from point A to point B. And like they don't have to, like in Elden Ring or something like that, they have to literally, if you want to go from here to here, for the most part, you have to literally walk there. There's like a couple of where it's like you can get in like the coffins and stuff, but like outside of that, they would literally have to design every single step of the way. And I think it is something that in having these different loadable zones, like basically just loadable rooms, it kind of does help with the immersion a lot to have that little animation. Because like when you're going from like inside of like Agrabah to way out in the desert or whatever, there's like a little bit of a disconnect if you don't have that like magic carpet, right? Like you're just, now I'm just way out in the middle of the desert or something, right? And I think that specifically here, it's done a lot cooler, and you're able to like really feel the sense of scale of the level without them having to make every single place be somewhere you can go, kind of thing. Right. I saw that was really cool, but my nitpick with the whole having Beast and running to Heartless, like at first you load into the front area and you can't get into the door, and there's Heartless spawning and you can't kill them, and so you kind of have to like run away, and then eventually find out that you need to go down. But it has like the same issue where with the bubbles, you don't need to fight the Heartless in order to use them. But when you come back and you need to use the lift to go up, I just wish there wasn't Heartless in that room, because it would feel so much less annoying. And I get that it's like this temporary, you're supposed to feel this type of like helplessness. I think it just works so much better in like that last room with the switch and the puzzle down in the basement. And you're in this small room and there's just the one guy and he's pretty tanky, and like it shows like you really do need your friends, kind of thing, that you never have really had to do, that I really like. And I wish it was like just like, okay, you have to find out how to unlock this gate, and then there's Heartless around there, and then once you figure out you can leave, like drop down, then you don't run into anything else that like inhibits your progress, because I think that is like a little annoying.
I agree. And that's like my issue, my one nitpick with this world in general is like there's that one specific spot, and I referenced this last episode, I think, where you're on the ledge and there's the one elevator you have to activate, and then they send you these flying enemies, and it's all flying enemies, and they all want to like go over the edge, and if you fall, you drop down to the
If you're just mashing X, you could easily fly off the edge. Yeah.
Right. And even if you're not mashing X, like Sora just jumps at them from, you know what I mean? Like it's just and you can't activate the so you have to defeat them to progress. So then your only option is to kind of bunker up in that corner and kind of hope
Wait
they
for them
come
to
to you.
dive bomb you. Yeah.
Because if you picked a build like mine where magic isn't very strong, you're just going to use all your magic instantly and not have, done any damage.
Another wrinkle to that I didn't realize until this playthrough is that you literally just did all of those puzzles in order to unlock get all the keys for the heart door, right? Like you have to use the fire on the candles. You have to use, well, I guess you don't have to, but like use the lightning in order to make the platforms move. And like, so you just used a ton of magic, and now you're like in an area where you probably need magic. Like it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Anyway, you go down with Beast into the basement and you activate the switch to open the front door, which I think is a cool little side thing you do.
Bro, every time I do that puzzle, I flip that first, like, I flip the second switch first accidentally, and I just lock myself in the little 1x1 room.
Yeah.
I do it every time, bro.
I did that as well.
I do it every time. Okay. Open the door.
I spend way too long, like, messing with that every time.
Yeah. I do also like that, like, because it just zooms out from you and shows you a different perspective of what changed. You can see a lot of times Beast's character model like trying to get to you, but he can't. So he's just running in place during the little cutscene.
As you go into the door, we get a cutscene where Maleficent is using the 7 Princesses of Heart to show the keyhole, and there's this cool like pink beam, and then it goes into the giant like rainbow ass darkness keyhole. And that was like built into the building, and so like it's like, how did Maleficent do all this? It seems like, obviously there was more at play there.
Like, oh, this is like the research that Ansem did. Like, this is his lab, or like a offshoot of a lab, or some BS. It's pretty crazy that like Disney signed off on like they're basically just in these crystal coffins all lined up, and then like their hearts are being harvested. Basically, they're all comatose, like. Specifically, especially like 20 years ago, Disney was like, yeah, this is chill. Like, oh, okay. I'm surprised.
I think it's probably because they end up okay, that they don't, like if they killed the Disney princesses, that
when they're just asleep,
Yeah, they're just sleeping.
Even though their hearts have been harvested, basically,
Yeah.
Don't
we
read
come back
into
to the entryway where Beast is fucking hilarious here, dude. Because you guys walk in and he goes, "Be on your guard. They're close. I can feel it. Are you ready for them?" So this dude just says to you, "Be on your guard," and then turns around and sees Belle, right? And he's like, "Whoa." And then it turns into a shadow, and he's so fucking enraged.
Like
this guy that was just telling you to be on your guard, that he got fooled by a shadow, that he jumps at it and gets locked out.
Yeah.
He like goes into like a fucking rage, dude. It's so funny that he's like, "Be on your guard."
Well, that is super funny. Like, he immediately gets rage baited, but then like in Japanese, his roar that he does is the goofiest shit ever, bro. It's so bad. He sounds like a sad puppy, bro. He's like, it's so bad, bro. It's negative aura, generational aura debt from that howl or whatever, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, dude. Very comical performance from Mr. Beast here.
Like literally sounded like almost like a, the noise that like Arcanine makes, like the
yeah.
It literally sounded like that.
That's so funny.
Like, what the fuck is this? Well, what's funny is his voice is very similar to the English version. Obviously, it's like originally English character, and so like they're trying to like copy that. Right, like his Beast exists before Kingdom Hearts. I felt like he had done a really good job. What's funny is it's the same voice actor as like Donald voices Beast, and I thought he was doing a really good job. And then this I don't know what this howl was, bro. I feel like they forgot to have, like, it doesn't even sound like the same person to me. Like, I feel like they forgot to have him do it in the studio, and they're like, who's here that can do a good enough howl or whatever? And everyone's was shit, and so they just had to pick either the funniest one or the least shit one. I don't know.
That's funny.
It's so funny.
I wonder how he sounds in like the movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Japanese.
yeah.
Like maybe he does like a howl like that in the movie in Japanese, and so they were just replicating that.
Maybe. Like it's like super old. Yeah.
As soon as the door shuts on Beast, Riku, Goofy, and Donald are standing there. And Riku is like, you should quit while you're ahead, and puts on his new fit.
It's drip.
Which he's dripped out. But do you think this is the moment where Donald and Goofy realize they made a mistake? Because this is clearly an evil person outfit.
Yeah. Well, he's also like just trying to slime his day one straight up. Like, just trying to slime him out.
So I think this is probably Goofy saw this shit and went, oh, that's an evil ass outfit. And so then when Riku tries to shoot the Kamehameha wave at Sora or whatever, that's when Goofy jumps in front with his shield. Also, Goofy instant transmissions, bro, because there's a shot where the fireball has left Riku's hand and Goofy's standing behind him still. So Goofy moved at the speed of fucking light
faster
to block this fucking thing. Like, bro just instant transmissioned in front of Sora.
And personal.
Riku's like, you'd betray your king? He goes, not in your life, but I'm not going to betray Sora either because he's become one of my best buddies after all. We've been through together. See you later, Donald. Tell the king I'm really sorry. And Donald's like, well, shit, now I look like an asshole. So he's like, all right, I'll you can tell him, we'll tell him together. And so Donald runs over. Yeah. And so you get your boys back. And then it does kind of align with Sora's like, hey, my friends are my power type shit, because he immediately gets the Keyblade back from Riku because his friends believed in him. Luckily for Riku, he just has his sword tucked in his pants too, because he loses the Keyblade, but he has his dope ass sword there, you know. Always stay strapped. That's Riku's motto. And you get to have this fight with Riku, which is a fun fight in my opinion. It's very much like an evolved version of when you fight him at Destiny Island in a lot of ways, right?
Right.
Like he moves a lot of the same, but it's way more advanced, obviously, because we've all been more advanced. But he does like a lot of the like nonsensical just jumping in the air kind of shit that he does on Destiny Island, you know?
Yeah, the little like side hops and stuff.
Side hops, and I don't know if he does the kip up. I don't remember if he does the kip up, but
he didn't for me.
I don't think he did for me either. It's definitely just more reminiscent of that than the fight we have with him later, which is very different. But it's a cool fight. It's an emotional moment. I think they obviously the thing that we kind of nitpicked earlier, they need that in order for this moment to happen, right?
Right.
So again, like you were saying, like obviously it's a nitpick, but like the end result makes it okay.
It's good. Yeah. This cutscene, bro, it specifically made me, like, in Japanese, bro, I genuinely want to ask somebody who is Japanese that played the game in Japanese initially, like, bro, they cannot tell what he's saying half the time. I refuse to believe it, bro, because, like, I'm literally reading the Japanese subtitle, right?
Wait,
like,
who, Donald?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like, I swear to God, bro, when he's like, oh, yeah, we're going to apologize together. Bro, he is just making duck noises at that point. He is not making any type of sense. I'm reading what he's saying, and I still can't hear that being said. Like, it is so crazy, bro. I need to ask somebody, yo, can you understand what Donald is saying without subtitles? Like 100% of the time.
If you're a native Japanese speaker, and you played Kingdom Hearts in Japanese, reach out to Jay and tell him.
Like, I need to ask somebody, bro. Like, that's like a new bucket list. Find a Kingdom Hearts fan and ask them to tell me what the hell Donald is saying without subtitles. No subtitles, no context. Listen to this and tell me what he's saying.
Riku runs away, and you get to go into the library, and there's this puzzle section that you alluded to earlier where you unlock all these 4 emblem pieces to put into the door to proceed. The library's cool, and you'll recognize it as the area where Kyrie's grandma was telling Kyrie the story, if you're very sharp-eyed. because under the stairs is the table she was sitting at. But yeah, you put the puzzle pieces in the emblems. I think I like the color scheme of it. It's fun, you know.
Yeah,
It's a cool little puzzle. And when you're finished with that, we jump into a cutscene that was added for Final Mix, and I think, right? Wasn't this added for when he gets the? No, maybe this wasn't. No, I'm confusing it with one later. This is where Sack Ansem shows up and possesses Riku, basically. And Riku's like, why did I lose the Keyblade? And he's like, your heart was weaker in that moment. However, you can become stronger if you give yourself into the darkness. And so we get to see Riku's full transformation. So I guess I have a question, Jay. Upon knowing what we know later in the Kingdom Hearts series, and this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but the outfit that Riku wears in that first fight is used later for other characters, and it's tied to Ansem, right?
The Darkling.
Was Ansem already kind of getting in on Riku here before this moment, do you think? I think is that what's supposed to be implied?
I don't think so. Because it's like when it's used in Union Cross, it doesn't have any affiliation to
I guess it's
Ansem.
not with Ansem. Yeah, you're right.
It's more just darkness, and you have the Keyblade. Like, you just get that fit or whatever. Like,
okay.
If you're, like, strong enough to where, like, it doesn't completely consume you kind of thing. That's kind of always the vibe I got. I always felt that, like, if this was made in modern day, that, like, where the, like, skin-tight suit is would kind of be more, like, symbiote, and it would, like, be, like, coming up onto their face kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it
like
kind of does
Eddie
that.
Brock style, you know, where, like, there's, like, the little tendrils up on his face when he's revealing his face.
So it's just a darkness.
I always kind of thought that, yeah.
So you start progressing through the castle. Here you can do Dumbo Skip if you're dope like me, and I did Dumbo Skip. Shout out to Dumbo Skip. And you end up in the chapel. Well, before that, there's a cutscene with Maleficent and Riku, where Riku has double voice now. Every time he talks, you hear someone else's voice along with his. They find out that Kairi's heart isn't where it needs to be to open the keyhole, and Ansem Riku kind of tells her that.
He takes out the fire poker.
The fire poker Keyblade. He has a Keyblade again suddenly.
When she doesn't know that it's like a weird Keyblade or anything, because she hasn't. Because like at this point, like, we're supposed to think like, oh, there's only one Keyblade, and Sora has it, and so like when she sees this other Keyblade, she doesn't know it's not the Keyblade. Yeah, actually, no, wait. That may now that I say it, because I remember watching it, be like, oh yeah, she hasn't seen the Keyblade. She doesn't technically know that's not the Keyblade. But no, she would have seen it a bunch because she just watched like Sora basically slime out every single Disney villain leading up to her in this like crystal ball or whatever the hell they're using. Like, wait a second.
She basically goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go take care of the King's Fools myself for some reason." And you get what I think is a pretty cool boss fight with Maleficent. She has this platform, and she like zooms around the room on it, but you can cast gravity on it to ground her for a little bit and do some damage. Or you can just jump up on it, and then eventually it will throw you off. But she does this like crazy fucking spell where she like summons meteors from a portal.
That spell's really cool.
It's really cool. She summons defenders for you to fight.
I feel like I normally really like this fight. I don't know if her AI was just like buggy, but it was a horror for me. Even being on even being on beginner and like really OP, I was getting like one combo on her sometimes, and then she would like go invulnerable and do the like I'm trying to throw you off kind of thing. Or like even when I would like do gravity, because I do like that the hitbox on the gravity is nice, because the first time I cast gravity, she kind of ran as I cast it, and it like still worked. I think I like that is like basically coded that way. I don't know if it's like on purpose or the hitbox just ends up being like that. I don't know, but I'm glad and thankful for it, because I basically just had her in a loop where I'd get her to come down, I'd hit like one combo on her, and then she'd just go invulnerable and then fly up into the air. It would try to throw me off. bro, sometimes that shit is like super glitchy because I'd be mid glide and it would throw me as if I was standing on it. Yeah. And then she just and then just fly away. And then I'd have to use gravity again. And then she'd come down. I'd use one combo on her. She'd go invulnerable into like her little fire form, fly up into the air again. She literally did it like probably legit like 20 or 30 times.
Weird. Yeah, I didn't have that much problem with her.
It was so crazy. I don't know if I bugged the fight. Well, because at the very beginning, I should say, at the very beginning, I got like a couple of combos off on her, and she did the fucking the meteor move or whatever, like because I just jumped up there and was just hitting her. I don't know what the hell I did where she didn't do any other attack the entire time. She just would go invulnerable, fly away. I'd use gravity, go away, like one combo. I don't know what it was, bro, but I broke her AI or some shit. It was rough.
She was nice to me, and it was a fun fight. I didn't think it was unfair or anything. I think it's really cool to take.
I like the dragon
character.
way more this time.
See, I also didn't have problems with the dragon. We'll get to for once, but I think it's cool to take a Disney character like this. I think a lot of times they stay really close to like canon for their like power. Where Maleficent, it seems like they're all in on like making her just strong as fuck and letting her do all this cool shit.
Yeah,
and I'm really into that. Like when in fucking her movie does she like spam meteors on, you know what I mean? Like I just think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I've always been in this fight aesthetically, and I think mechanically it's pretty sound too. When you defeat her, she kind of retreats into a portal, and we get a cutscene where Riku kind of shows up and is like, hey, you got your ass kicked, you know, and she's in dire straits, but he decides, hey, I'm going to unlock your heart with this Keyblade. That's what the power of this Keyblade is. And it's important they show Sora, because Sora, Donald, and Goofy show up as he's doing it. He yells, become darkness itself, and stabs her with a fucking Keyblade, and then just nopes out. And she's actually psyched about this. She's like, this power, true darkness, right?
Yeah.
And she turns into the dragon form that we see from her movie, and you get to fight the dragon. This is like, not spoilers, but there's a prequel game in this series called Birth by Sleep where Maleficent shows up. And in that game, you also fight the dragon, right?
Yeah.
This is implying that she needed Riku Ansem to unlock her heart to become the dragon.
Right.
But in the past, she became the dragon.
She was just weaker because she lost earlier, you know? Like,
oh, okay.
You know, sometimes
the
you lose
implying is that
yourself.
she doesn't need it to become the dragon, but she was like a stronger version of the dragon.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, all right. So I complained last episode about this fight quite a bit, and I think my complaints are still valid, but I had a much easier time with it this time around. I summoned Tinkerbell, you know, and she protects you for a long time. I still think there's too much unavoidable things in this fight. Like there's just stuff that there's no way to avoid unless you go like cower behind roots and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not fun. But I had a much easier time with it this time around. I beat it first try. I didn't really struggle. So maybe I was being a little harsh on it, is what I'll say from last week.
One of the things that I never knew is that you could like parry the fireballs that she spams. Because I remember like that's where I would like take a ton of damage because it just like follows you, right? Mm-hmm. And you get XP from it. Like I wish 10-year-old me knew this shit. Like I would have saved so many runs. And then once I did that, I was like, you know what? With like in the next fight with Riku, I am going to play it as if I was 10 years old. I am going to just straight only X mash. I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to dodge. I'm not going to guard. I'm literally just going to hold forward the whole time and just straight mash X. And I'm not going to heal unless I hear the blinking noise. And I didn't have once more or second chance or leaf bracer, like just full 10-year-old version. But I got that idea from doing this where I was like, man, I wish 10-year-old me knew. So I was like, I need to get the perspective of 10-year-old me. Is Riku still that hard? But what I will say is once you beat Maleficent in the dragon form, she's like down into like, she's just like a burn mark on the floor. Like she just got nuked or some shit. Like Riku coming in and then like rubbing his foot into her ashes and like clearing it. Like That is so wild. Like that is.
It's really crazy.
And Cage 2 is supposed to be the edgy one, bro. Like, holy, what just happened? Like, immediately.
Well,
spit
as
on
he
her
does, he
grave.
goes, a fitting end for a fool.
Right.
Which is like,
oh my God, bro. That's
they
so
really want you to
crazy.
know that this isn't Riku. Like, if you weren't sure, you can now pretty much guess that if the double voicing and like the different like vocabulary and everything wasn't what you weren't sure if it was Riku or not, you now know this is not Riku anymore, right?
Yeah.
But no, it is crazy, and it you know, cut to Cage 2, but Maleficent somehow returns. I don't. We'll talk about that then, but she did just get turned into like an Oppenheimer ass, like
Right.
fucking like stain on the ground.
Yeah.
And Riku she vanishes as Riku rubs his heel on it. We get into the main room here where you can look at all the princesses in their little like glass coffins, and there's the cool rug that you talked about on the floor. And this room is just like so cool
Yeah.
from a stylistic point, and you know,
There's
just
nostalgia.
a really
There's PTSD.
nostalgia,
There's
and,
aura. It's got everything.
it's a really cool room. You jump right into a cutscene once you move forward where you enter the boss arena and Goofy immediately gets force fielded out.
Bro, do you think like Ansem could like sense his power level or something, and that's why
He knew
didn't let
Goofy was gonna
come
be a
in right
problem.
away? He's like, I cannot let this guy get in here. Maybe it's like, you know, once Ansem possessed Riku, he saw what happened to him in the room before, and there was like the instant transmission block type shit, and he's like, yeah, that motherfucker is not allowed into the boss arena.
I gotta get rid of this guy.
The duck, I can throw him out after.
Yeah, he's done. Duck is easy, whatever. But he doesn't even heal him anyway. But
Exactly. Where's
Right.
my heels?
we get probably what is the most recited cutscene in Kingdom Hearts history.
Yep.
Because in the original game, you could not skip cutscenes, and this fight gave people a lot of problems. And so people have seen it a lot.
Yep.
Riku's kind of aura farming on top of the heart portal, and then he floats down. And we get the revelation that Kairi's heart has been in Sora the whole time since she flew through him on Destiny Island. Kairi's inside me? And so that's like why Sora has been able to see Kairi and talk to Kairi and have Kairi's memories of things. That's what they've been hinting at this whole time. And so that's supposed to be a pretty big revelation. And then we get Ansem Riku's reveal that he is, in fact, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. As he walks forward, like you said, Goofy gets bitch slapped out of the arena. Like straight up, doesn't even look at Donald when he does it, just bitch slaps him.
Yeah.
And Sora is down on his knees at this revelation, and his heart hurts because he's trying to pull Kairi's heart out of him. And as he goes to strike him, Kairi talks to Sora and goes, Sora! And he holds up his Keyblade real fast to block.
Yep, go to the
And
block.
there's no way you're taking Kairi's heart. And we get the boss fight that gave people so many problems growing up. I think it's a pretty fun, well-designed boss fight up until he goes full like desperation maneuver mode, which wasn't a thing we said back then. But he will literally give you one chance to combo him and then go into his unhittable move once he gets low enough health over and over. And so it's really just a battle of attrition and not fucking up your moment to attack. But I think it's a really, outside of that, getting a little annoying, I think it's a really cool boss fight. I think it needed a bigger arena
or better
for camera's sake. Right. But that's like pretty much every fight in Kingdom Hearts, right?
Right.
So I can't really dock it for that if, you know, we're talking about that. But yeah, I think it's a really fun fight. I think it's the fight people probably think of when they think of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty iconic. And I think it's where Riku gained a lot of his aura for people to really enjoy that character as kind of a baddie, but also like, you know, redeemable because he's really fucking cool here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, between the cutscene and the fight and the mixed voice type of stuff and a lot of his voice lines are very, like his like battle quotes basically are really cool. Yeah, I literally just did, okay, I'm just going to straight button mash and hold forward. I only had to heal twice, and one of the times he almost got me because I'm like, no leaf bracer, no nothing. So he almost got me. I don't know if like my luck on enemy AI from like the Maleficent 1 being so horrid, like just came back around and he was really nice to me. But like I literally did not do anything special, just ran at him, mashed X. For the DM, I just like walked like forward. Like I didn't do any like crazy tech or anything. And then it's like I took some damage. I didn't use arrow, I didn't do nothing. I just slimed him first try, bro. Just rinsed him. I was like, was I just like a mega giga ass like as a kid? Like, how the hell did I die to this 5 trillion times? Because I'm not over leveled. I do have like the extra AP up or strength ups from the very beginning of the game. But I didn't like go through my equipment. Like one of my equipments is still the EXP, whatever. I forget what it's called. Like, so like, it's not like I'm like getting a ton of stats from that. So like, I was just like pretty surprised at like how I was expecting like, yeah, this is probably gonna take me like, you know, upwards of 10 times because I want to do this like this. And just rinsed him first try. Like, he didn't even DM more than once on me. Like, I just beat his ass.
See, he DM'd me quite a bit. I'm obviously playing at a difficulty level higher than you.
Yeah,
but
I guess maybe as a kid I probably
wasn't
played on standard. Maybe that's where the gap is.
It wasn't hard though. It's just like resource manage it, making sure you get in enough hits to get another thing of mana so you can heal if he hits you. You know what I mean? And then you run over to the control panel and jump in the air because he doesn't typically dash that way. You know, it's just the typical. You know the process.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
Right. But fun fight. I didn't die either. I think we're just better gamers overall these days too. You know what I mean?
Well, like I literally was like, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not blocking. I'm not dodging. If he is hittable, I'm running at him in a straight line, and I'm just mashing X. Like I'm not timing it. Nothing. Like just full mash. And I guess I just, you know, that's probably how I beat him as a kid. One time is like I got one good run and just didn't overly greed heal or something, because like I was like, I'm not gonna, I didn't even think about like how I was gonna do the heal going into it, but I was like, I got to the point where I probably should heal. Like I was at like just above where my heart's or like my health's gonna start blinking red or whatever, and I was like, actually I should just wait until it's blinking red, because that's what I would have done as a kid.
Right.
I still didn't get my ass, bro. So I guess I don't know if I'm in denial that I was ass as a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, you might have been ass. So after that fight, Riku disappears, and they try to lock the keyhole, and it's not completed, so they can't. So then Sora's like, Keyblade that unlocks hearts, I wonder, and does one of the hardest motherfucking things in the world, smiles real big at his boys, and then stabs himself in the heart with a key.
Yeah, it's hard.
Kairi's heart, and also his.
In English.
And the princess's.
In English, Goofy, when he's like, I can't believe that unlocks hearts, I wonder. And then as he's walking towards it, both Donald and Goofy are like, Sora? In Japanese, Goofy says, Masaka? Which means like, don't tell me. Like, no way. Like a lot of times it made me, they say it when they know what's happening, but it's like, no, don't tell me that kind of thing.
Right.
There's no way. So it's like in Japanese, like kind of implied he just knows frame one what he's about to do with the fire poker, bro.
I think it's also kind of like they say Sora, right? Yeah. But like I think it's also implied they know what he's hinting at, but they don't think he's actually going to do it. I think is what the implication is. Because if they did, they would try and stop him, right?
Right.
But they're like, Sora, like what, you know, and I think the idea is that it is such a crazy idea that there's no way he's going to do it. Right.
Yeah.
And he just puts a smile on his face and does it. All the hearts get released. Kairi wakes up as Sora vanishes.
That animation of like it being like in his chest and just like once he like doesn't have his hands on it anymore or whatever. And then he like fades into light. The animation's so dope.
So then as Kairi, Donald, and Goofy are, you know, looking around like, what do we do? Ansem Secret Darkness shows up looking like a Chad.
What?
And Donald and Goofy are like, can we even stop this guy? And Donald's like, I don't know, but we got to try. But then he starts like seizing up, and a ghost glowy version of Riku shows up and goes, "No, you won't use me for this." And he's like, "Kairi, you got to run. The Heartless are coming." And so a bunch of Heartless show up and they cut tail and get out of there. I really like the animation of Ansem being like seized up. Like, it's really funny. Like, he's like, he looks like he's like taking a shit. Like, it's just really funny.
Don't
animation.
resist me.
And then we get the viewpoint of a little Heartless boy as they run away, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on with this little Heartless? And then you take control of the Heartless because Sora, after unlocking his heart, became a Heartless. And you don't really do anything like active in this moment. You just kind of cute little boy Heartless, and he got a funny
I love his
little
running
walk.
animation.
Yeah, his running animation's so good.
Little feet off to the side.
His little feet off the side, and you kind of you can't take any lifts, so you got to kind of drop down the tower as you scramble around. You're just a little boy. You're just a small little boy being, you know. And then we get to lobby, and they're like, "We can't stay here, Kairi. A Heartless is after us." And it's just the little shadow. It's like, why are they so concerned about this one shadow, right?
Yeah.
And then you go down there, and Donald boinks you a couple times with his wand.
Dude, I paused it. I got bonkless the first time ever.
Oh,
I always get bonked.
hell yeah. He calls him a confounded Heartless. Sometimes they give Donald dialogue that's like, why would you make the guy who's voice acting this say this way? Like, confounded Heartless? Like, what are we doing here? Like, Donald and Goofy go off to fight the bunch of Heartless that surround them, and Kairi recognizes that this is Sora. And she goes, "This time I'm going to protect you." So as the Heartless jump on her, she kind of shields him. And then there's a flash of light, and that sends the Heartless flying. And then Sora's back almost as quickly as he left. He's like, "Kairi, thank you." She's like, "Sora?" And they're like, "Sora!" And it's like, "Oh, yeah, Sora's safe, but we got to get out of here because there's more Heartless coming," right?
Go, go, go.
And then Beast shows up, too, and Beast's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
So they're coming. I'll hold them back. I need to stay for Belle.
"I can't leave Belle. Fuck!" You know, like,
Even though I got
like,
rage baited by one Heartless.
Beast says, "Get out of here." You run away, and then you just teleport back to Traverse Town, where the Final Fantasy gang is. Squall is kind of like, "Oh, so he's like, tell me what happened." And then there's this like scene of Sora like animating, talking to him. And I know this is like very nitpicky, because then Leon says, "So the darkness is flowing out of the keyhole." Why couldn't the scene just started with him saying that?
That's true.
Why did we need the scene of him going, "Tell me what happened"? Sora like miming what happened for like a quick second, and then he goes, "So the darkness is flowing out of that keyhole." Couldn't it just faded in and Leon go, "So the darkness is flowing out of that keyhole"? Like,
Yeah,
why
I guess I didn't
this...
notice that. Yeah,
It's something I noticed that's so nitpicky. It's like not a big deal, but it was just like, wait a minute, like,
it's kind of funny.
Why did they do it like that?
Yeah. One thing with this, like, because we've been playing a bunch of older games and like Twitch.tv/SuperSpikeGhetti Bros. Platinuming them on stream. One thing that I kind of take for granted in newer games and like the whole like fast travel and stuff, the backtracking is normally pretty rough, or like just like, okay, run from here to here just to get a cutscene or something like that, right?
Right.
But I like that here is one of the very few times where they're like, "Yo, you're in Hollow Bastion, here's the cutscene. We're just going to bring you straight to Traverse Town and straight into the house." Like, you don't have to travel to Traverse Town. You don't have to run to the 2nd district or whatever, or 3rd district. Like, you're just here, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much here.
Yeah. Even though they do make you do another gummy mission to go back to Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, that's pretty despicable.
Basically, they tell you like, "Hey, you got to go seal the keyhole in order to get the Heartless to go away from Hollow Bastion, and all the princesses are still there, so we should probably go do that." And Sid's like, "I hid a special gummy in the waterway, so you can do this." And so you have to go to the mural that Kairi's in the waterway for some reason, just standing there. But you go up to the mural, and it gives you the gummy piece you need. And then there's this cutscene with Kairi that, again, and maybe we're being too nitpicky on some of these cutscenes, but they're like very like important, like emotional moments.
Right.
And then Kyrie goes in and out between full animated and flappy face.
Yeah, it's
and so does
definitely
Sora.
weird.
It's just so weird. And maybe that's just what it was like. And maybe, that's just a thing of the, it's just, I don't know. It's just strange to give Sora flappy face and then she's fully animated in scenes and then they go back and forth, And it's just kind of.
It's kind of jarring.
Talk about Riku and they're like, do you think Riku can be saved? And he's like, well, you saved me from the darkness. You brought me back. They talk about the story that Grandma told her. And then she gives him the Wayfinder charm. And she goes, it's my lucky charm. Please bring it back to me. And like she's fully animated there. And then Sora's animated when he says, don't worry, I will. And then it goes back to Flappy Lip. And it's just, I don't know. It's just for such an important scene.
Right.
It's just kind of strange. And maybe we should have expected this more because I remember when you play like Melody of Memory and they go through some of these cutscenes, you go, wow, it is jarring between like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, right? So like maybe we should have expected it a little more, but I can't believe how much has like not full animation that I remember in my head having full animation.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like a big part of it too. It's like you know this is an important cutscene. There's like a certain level of emotional attachment you have to the cutscene, yet you forget something is so jarring. And I think, like, I'll watch like slice of life and like romance anime because it's like a very easy, good way to hear regular Japanese as listening practice. And a thing that a lot of those anime, because they're super low budget, do is whenever the person is talking, they don't show the person who's talking. They show the other person's reaction. So like you don't have to constantly sync a mouth flapping through drawing, right? And in this, it's like through animation, but like it's definitely. I think if they had done like another pass on it, maybe they would have thought to do some things, and they do that sometimes, where it's like, oh, you're looking at the mural on the wall or whatever while they're talking, and I think they could have gone a long way with like reusing certain animations and like showing other people's reactions rather than the person who's talking in order to have less of that feel so jarring. Like when it was like really far away in the scene where like Riku takes the Keyblade, it's like less jarring there because it's not like their face is the only thing on screen and it's a flapping mouth. It's like, holy cow, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah. So then we get this cutscene that I thought I was talking about earlier that was added for Final Mix, where Riku is in the realm of darkness, and there's no voice acting in this scene, probably because they just didn't, we're not going to get David Gallagher back in to do this scene. Right. But it's also the other person he's talking to. It makes it more like you don't know exactly who he's talking to here unless you know, right? Yeah. And if you had that voice actor do that voice, you would know exactly who he's talking to. So it does kind of help it a little bit. Riku almost dies, and he's like, not until I see Sora and Kairi one last time. And then Riku, can you hear me? I'll be there soon. And I'm not going to do the voice because maybe it's a spoiler for people, but he talks about how like I have the other key and we need to be on the other side of the door to lock it. So you and I will lock one side. Riku goes, okay, you seem to know everything, so tell me, are Sora and Kairi okay? And he goes, look in your heart, it'll tell you. And he's like, he sees Sora and he's like, oh, okay, cool, they're good. And then you go back and sometimes some people turn into Dalmatians. That's what I did. You go back to Sid and he installs the final gummy for you. And you go on what is the worst gummy mission in the game because it is so fucking long.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually time it right now from when I take off.
One last thing I want to say, because it's probably the last time we'll ever need to talk about something like this, is with the whole flapping mouth stuff. It's pretty crazy that this game was re-released like 8 times or some bullshit, and they never did a pass on this. Like, come on now, guys. Like,
well, and especially when you consider
like it fix these key cutscenes. Like, it doesn't have to do not all of it. I don't care. You don't have to do all of it. And it's not like you're having to like redo any like voice act work or anything. Just animate the mouth slightly better, please. Like, with how many re-releases? Come on, bro.
Especially when you consider that, I don't know how true this is. I remember reading this, but didn't they have to remake the game when they did the HD?
I don't
did they
know.
lose the code?
I don't know if that was like for this game or another like Square Enix game or something. I don't know.
I remember it being about Kingdom Hearts 1, but I could be wrong. Maybe that was just something I read and it was wrong. But
some Nomura made and recoded when he was drunk. Yeah.
So the final
Fake
time
news.
on that last gummy mission, which you can't do any faster, by the way, because you go the same speed.
Well,
4
there's
minutes and
the boost
23
gummy.
seconds.
oh
Well, you
my
can get the boost
God.
gummy, yeah, but who does that? Who builds a
Most
gummy?
people
I'm
don't
still
even
using
know
the
about
main.
it. Yeah.
4 minutes and 23 seconds for that gummy mission. That's absurd.
So crazy.
That is actually absurd.
Well, and what really sucks about it is like you kind of got to be locked in on that one because it's like
Yeah, because it's hard.
unless you made your own and it's like super OP. And I don't even know that you could be OP enough to like really fully AFK it. Maybe you can. Once you get to the point where Sid, and I forgot to mention this before, when you find out, oh, Sid, he actually works on gummy ships and rockets, and you know, I was like, oh, I need to buy the boost gummy. This is gonna be big. And then I went to try and go into the menu for it, and was like, all these directions are in Japanese. It's gonna add another
and they're
layer.
already confusing to begin with.
Right. It's adding another layer of difficulty to this. I'm so good. But then I paid for it with freaking Hollow Bastion 2 gummy.
Yeah, I didn't touch gummy chips at all because
You
I
gotta
was just
lock
like,
in.
Yeah, I'm good. So we're back at Hollow Bastion, and you start from the beginning. Yeah, you meet up with Beast, who for some reason is at the beginning with you, and he's like, well, we gotta go get Belle or whatever. And it's like, wait, why are you down here? You were like in the castle when we last
Right, did you
left.
get pushed out? Or did you get
Right.
scared and now you're like acting like you're not scared?
The enemies are tougher here. They leveled them up for you a little bit, and they're different varieties now. A lot of wizards, a lot of nocturnes, and things of that nature.
Wizards.
Going up and getting to that platform again that I talked about earlier, this is where it's really rough because the enemies
Yeah.
are much tougher. But
Well, it's
I
like
won't
we've
beat a dead
all
horse with that.
so many of us have watched people play through this game for the first time to like see their reactions and stuff or whatever, or just like I've gotten friends into it and like watched like they shared screen in Discord or whatever. Bro, like people always rage at this part every time because of this, and it's like you gotta just tell them like, yeah, bro, it's ass, but don't worry, this type of shit never happens again, bro. Like just a little bit more, bro, just a little bit more, and then you're like Michael Scott biting his lip low key because they haven't gotten to Invincibles and Angels yet.
Right. So you go into the library and you get this nice little cutscene with Beast seeing Belle again, and they immediately go into their like dancing pose because that's what you know them for. They danced in the ballroom, remember? Because it's probably pretty hard to animate them actually embracing because his body's so weird because he's just a giant beast monster.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, you're here to seal the keyhole." And if you talk to her again, she gives you Divine Rose, which is a dope-ass Keyblade. One other thing is you can fully solve the book puzzle now.
Yeah.
Because of the Trinity. But what's really funny is if you solve it and you get to go on the last kind of unlockable door, you get to go on another like elevator.
Lift,
right?
yeah.
Lift. And this lift is so fucking funny to me.
Yeah.
Because it like starts inside and it goes outside, and then you just like watch it like for the longest time. Nothing's happening. You're just on this lift, and it's like it just like takes forever for no real apparent reason.
It's
right?
like this is gonna be so cool. Watch this shit.
Right. And it's like, oh, this well, it's like this chest I'm gonna get better is gonna be fucking dope, right? It's gonna be so cool. So you take it, because I couldn't remember what the reward was, right?
Right, yeah.
So you solve this intricate book puzzle. You take this long ass lift to nowhere, and then you
You're
use
like,
gravity
should be
on the
worried
chest.
there's like a fucking like a boss here. Like you weren't supposed to go this way, kind of thing. Yeah.
You use gravity on a chest, and you open up the chest, and it's an Osmos gummy.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so despicable, bro. It's so despicable.
And then to add humiliation to the whole situation, you have to watch the fucking lift again. The fucking 30 seconds it takes the lift to go back, you have to watch it again. It's so insane.
It is so crazy, bro. And that's the type of shit where it's like, man, KH1 level design is the best. You get to explore. What do you get for exploring, bro? Gummies you're never gonna use, bro. And Dalmatians.
I wasn't even upset at this. I was laughing because I was just like, this is so fucking funny to me. Like, this is hilarious. Like,
there was supposed to be something else here, bro.
It's so funny to me. Like, just how long that lift ride is. To me, that's like in line with like, there's this scene later in the game where Xemnas like walks down the steps for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like that for me. Like that's how I feel about that lift. That's how long it takes. Like Xemnas walking down the steps for 10 years in a cutscene. There's not really a whole lot of note as you climb the castle. It's pretty much the same once you leave the library until you get to the cathedral where all the other princesses are, and you can talk to them, and they basically it's not a voiced cutscene, but they basically tell you like, hey, we're holding back the darkness. We need you to lock this keyhole. Like, thank you, Keyblade Master. They all call him Keyblade Master, which I think is really funny. They seem like it's a little weird that like Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, Aurora and Cinderella are kind of off on their own from the other girls. It's like, why are you guys clicky?
Dude. Yeah.
And then Belle's on her own, you know, like reading books. It's like, but one thing that Aurora says, when they're talking about Ansem disappearing into the darkness, she goes, I will never forget the look on his face. He was smiling. And it's like, oh shit, this guy's fucked up. He wanted to be swallowed by the darkness, you know? Which I think it's a really like
sick,
cool and funny line. Like, you know, just he's sadistic. He was laughing. I forgot to mention earlier, you get Oathkeeper, which is an iconic Keyblade from Kyrie after that cutscene. And then in this room, you can get Oblivion, which is the yin and the yang of Keyblades. And Oblivion isn't the strongest Keyblade. I think Divine Rose is actually stronger by a point.
Yeah.
But it's still a really cool Keyblade. And some people have made it their whole personality to this day. So.
Also, when you
shout outs to them.
When you get Divine Rose, you can also talk to like in the same room where you get Divine Rose, you can talk to
you can't do it yet. I know what you're saying, because I tried to do it and I went, oh wait, they're not here yet, because you have to go to the Keyblade or the keyhole first.
Yeah.
And you go in the keyhole and you fight the chonky behemoth. He's like a kid's version of Behemoth, and I really enjoy it.
He's an action figure version.
Right. It's like, what if Disney made the Behemoth, you know? Like,
yeah.
And I just think it's funny. It's not a super remarkable boss fight. It kind of does the Cave of Wonders thing, but better, right? Because it's not as hard to get on top of him. But you got to attack his horn. And
or like Cerberus.
Yeah. He at least will like bend down when you've hurt him enough and let you just wail on it.
Yeah, I like that.
But he, pretty unremarkable boss fight, but like cool again. Like most Kingdom Hearts boss fights, very cool design, not necessarily the best mechanically.
Right.
This is also like baffling to me. You walk up to the keyhole, and Goofy's like, let's go seal that big keyhole. And then Sora, you did it. From off screen is Leon. And instead of locking the keyhole, you're like, hey, Leon, I'll be with you in 1 second. They leave the arena to go talk to Leon, Yuffie, and Aerith. And they're like, hey, we came and said, Chip, this is where we came from. We wanted to see it again. And they're like, we're going to have to rebuild this shit. And it's just kind of like weird. Why did they make him leave? Like, they could have walked in there. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just very weird how they did it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, shit, we need to say goodbye to these Final Fantasy characters. But it's just, I don't know. It's just very strange. But they say their goodbyes, and Yuffie says an interesting line where she goes, I couldn't forget you even if I tried. And he's like, what's that supposed to mean? But, foreshadowing a little bit there. And Goofy's like, hey, Sora, what the fuck? Let's lock the keyhole. Like, the Heartless are pouring out of this. It's just so strange. So you lock the keyhole.
Talk to him later in Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, wait.
You go back to the princesses, and they're like, hey, you locked the keyhole. Great job. But I can feel like this darkness growing far away. And they're like, that must be where Ansem went. And he's like, we'll take the gummy ship and go deal with it. And then Cinderella's like, a worthy answer, Keyblade Master. It's like, what is this? So they give you Viagra, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Viagra. And you can go talk to Aerith at this point and get Curaga if you talk to her 3 times.
And they're like, yo, here is a ton of Ansem reports.
Right. She gives you a bunch of Ansem reports, and then she goes... Then she says something different in the middle that's not useful, and then she goes, "Oh yeah, here's Curaga because I'm the I'm the healer of the Final Fantasy group."
Yeah.
And then that's where we got to. That's the end. Well, actually, before I move on, Jay, do you anything else you want to say about Hollow Bastion? I mean, to me, it's iconic.
Yeah.
There's a reason it was the stage in Smash for Sora when he made it to Smash. It's just an iconic. When I think Kingdom Hearts 1, I think of Hollow Bastion. Like,
Absolutely.
it's that simple.
Absolutely.
It's that simple.
I don't know if it's like because I didn't really explore the bottom section or whatever, because you can do that. I always thought it was super weird that specifically with Hollow Bastion, seems is so much bigger, but when you are, because in other worlds, when there's some off the beaten path, oh, here's a little side room, or here's a little side room there, or whatever, there's obvious sections where oh yeah, this is probably when you're supposed to do it, whereas I feel with that bottom section and stuff, because you shouldn't really be exploring it when you have Beast, but then later you're not really going down there again, other than oh, if you're gonna go through and get all the chests or go and get all the Trinities and stuff. I always felt that underground area and all the different places you can go into there. It's cool that it's there for sure, but I always felt that man, there's probably people who have never seen this area before, and that's kind of sad. I wish there was somewhere or way or why as to go there again through the second visit or something like that, because I associate that area so heavily in my brain, literally I'll have dreams where I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and that's the area that is there in the dream. It's that down that ice area, and there's the ledges and shit and everything. I don't know, I really like that area, but I feel it should have. They should have had it where you go a slightly different way to get up to the top or something, just flesh it out a tiny bit more, and then make it so that people oh yeah, you're not just going the exact same rooms that you just went into to get to the exact same spot.
Right.
I think that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a back in the similar way.
It's underrated area.
There's a back way to gummy wise, right? They could be there's a back way to get up to Hollow Bastion.
Right. Yeah.
I
No, that would have been at least somewhat more understandable.
So what we're going to do next time, folks, is this episode is releasing on March 27th. I'd love to tell you that we're going to record on Wednesday, April 8th, but we're not, because that is, for my job, a very tough time to do that. So we are going to record. We're going to do another week this time. We're going to record on April 15th. And so what that means is you're going to have a little extra time to get the next section done. So what I will say is we should complete the end of the game. You should beat the game.
Yep.
And then any side content you want to do, and Jay and I haven't exactly talked about what side content we're going to do, but we'll do some. I'm not going to say we're going to 100% complete this game, but you should beat the game. You should do all the side content you want to do, and then you should at least review the secret movie, because we will be talking about that.
Yeah.
In the next episode. So, and like I said, we're going to record on April 15th, so we got a bigger gap this time around. Unavoidable. I apologize to everybody for that. But then we're going to be pretty much done with Kingdom Hearts 1. And then we will move on to Chain of Memories, presumably. Rechain, if you will. And we'll go from there. So
Yeah, Rechain.
So that's the goal for next time. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back with the question of the week, which is Fortnite related ?
Board night.
This is Richard Epcar. Welcome to the Ansem Report Podcast. Come.
Welcome back to the
$19 Fortnite
Ansem.
God. Who
Wait,
wants it?
What was that?
Sorry, I was brain rotting, dude. Fortnite, $19 Fortnite God. Who wants it? If you know, you know.
Anyway, welcome back to the Ansem Report Podcast. Jason, it's time for the question of the week. I want you to know the last time I interlaid our comments about how we always wait for it. Like, I did the actual gap we did, and it still wasn't long enough for the question of the week sting to play. All the way
That's
through.
so funny.
Yeah, I know. We were like, we wait for it, and we don't do a good enough job of waiting for it. So, all right, this week's question of the week from Jason. If the Kingdom Hearts and Fortnite rumor is true, what skins, back blings, etc. do you want to see added to the game? And I was told by a certain Among Us fan that this was a banger question.
Ooh.
Sean says, hooded organization member, Demix Sitar for the Guitar Hero minigame.
Ooh.
It's called Fortnite Festival, thank you. The Keyblade as a breaking tool would be neat. Shadow Sora skin, Toy Box Sora skin, and Old Man Xehanort.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. V says, Naminé's little angel plushie, and then has a picture of Naminé's angel plushie in its little bird cage. I'm not sure how that would be in Fortnite. Like, I don't know what
like a back bling, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. It's just there, maybe. Maybe it's just there. You know?
It's like an item. Just get it.
You just get it. It's there. Captain Bacon says, Nomura sitting on a stack of flaving money giving me the finger.
Okay.
Michael Theodore Mouse with his nipples out from KH1.
Oh, no.
Jiminy Cricket.
You're
And
banned.
KH1 original Wyvern glider.
Okay.
The Wyvern glider. Yeah, everybody's favorite part of Kingdom Hearts 1, the Wyvern. That's making it in.
It's kind of a heat glider, though.
Tyler says, knowing Fortnite, it will probably have Sora, Kairi, and Riku, or just Sora and Riku. Unrelated, but nice references as Black Blings. Maybe a KH2/KH3 alt style no glider. Probably an I don't, he's just like, I'm trying to read this in a way that like makes sense, but maybe a KH2, KH3 alt style no glider. But he's like using commas and not periods, so I don't know if this is all one sentence or not. Probably an emo of using the Keyblade to unlock something and probably drop sometime in July. What does he mean? Maybe a KH2/KH3 alt style no glider.
So, like, for example, when they did like the DBZ collab, right? You can be like base form Vegeta, or like you can literally use an emote that changes you into being like Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue. So it's like an alt style, right? So it's like it's one skin, but there's multiple. Like it's like changing your color palette in Smash Bros. Kind of thing, but you only have to buy the one skin. So he's saying, oh, there's the Sora skin, and then maybe
I get it now.
There's
Okay.
an alternate version that's like a KH2
I thought the no
or 3.
glider comment was related to the alt comment. And
He's
that's why I was
saying
confused.
he's like
But he's saying there won't be a
realistically
glider.
knowing Fortnite, they probably won't drop a glider with it, kind of thing.
I get it now. I'm an idiot. Egg says, someone explain to me in PUBG terms. No, we will not. And then there's like conversation happening. Guys, this is not what the question of the week is. What are we doing here?
You're all
right,
banned.
Saltrax says, Fortnite usually works in threes for collabs like this, so I'm going to limit myself to that as well. 1. Sora. Edit styles. KH1, KH2, KH3 outfits. Pickaxe, Kingdom Key. Back bling, High Wind Gummy Ship.
Okay.
2, Roxas. Standard outfit and organization coat with hood up. Pickaxe, Oathkeeper, and Oblivion. Back bling, sea salt, ice cream box.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. And then 3, KH3 hater. Edit styles. Mother's basement robe and peaked in high school varsity jacket.
No
Pickaxe. Boys rule, girls drool picket sign. And back bling, letter of eviction from parents.
Oh, shit.
Oh
The back bling.
God.
Job application.
KH3 haters in shambles. This is a good question of the week answer right here. This is a classic.
Yeah.
Zaltrax, you get a gold star for today.
Yeah.
Classic
10 out of
question
10 from
of the week.
Zaltrax.
Yeah. Kyrie's bro says, I'm going to be honest, I don't care one bit about Fortnite, but at this point, any KH representation is good. They will probably just do Sora, maybe Riku. Also, like, Fortnite had a skin from Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson book, so nothing would surprise me from that game.
And then there's
Mistborn.
the Mistborn skin doing a 6-7 as a GIF. Nice. Huge.
Mm-hmm. And then again, we are literally just talking into the question of the week. Mr. Spanky says, Keyblade surfing for a glider. A variety of some of the more popular keybaits for pickaxes, Kingdom Key, Oblivion, Oathkeeper. Heartless and Dream Eater back blings or even sidekicks.
Oh, I didn't even think about Dream Eaters.
Bro, Pog Mini Greg?
Shit. Yes.
Get Pog
Yes, let me
Mini Greg
get
in
the
there.
Lord Kairu. They would never do this because they're not goated enough, but let me get the Chef Kairu, bro, on my
dude.
back. And they're just redoing the fucking, like when you do the pause screen and like the characters are walking towards the screen permanently when you press pause. Let me get the motherfucking Lord Kairu, Chef Kairu fucking just walking on my back the whole time, bro. I mean, goated.
Mr. Spanky also says skins for all 3 trios would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool, bro. Let me be Terra.
DP Grant says, I'd love a Ripped Pete a la Ripped Peter Griffin as a skin.
Okay.
NGC says, I want Riku with the transformation animation into Ansem. Let me float down on the big darkness boat. Green Oogie Boogie Funko Pop as my black bit bling. Pog,
No
baby.
way. No way. You're banned.
Band. Energy Scott says, I can imagine Keyblades appearing on the map a bit like lightsabers back in the day. And
Ooh,
once you
yeah.
find them, you can either use it as a melee weapon or use strike rate. Or if you want to go crazy, the different forms of KH3 appear. It's been a while since I played it, but I remember the claws from Monsters Inc. Keyblade and can imagine them on the map.
Oh, that's like a Giga 5-head answer.
As for skins, I can see it being like Melody Memory Trios and you have to buy DLC packs, but instead of downloading Goofy with Sora, it'll be Riku and Kairi. Maybe you'd have a little Heartless doll on your back or Heartless symbol. For the pickaxe, it'd be a randomized Keyblade. It would never happen, but that'd definitely be a little surprise each round. Nice little surprise each round. Definitely going to be flying in on a Keyblade like in KH3, maybe the same randomization as the pickaxe. Finally, with emotes, I can imagine giving a Papu fruit to someone or a sticker emote with the cave drawing. Peak would be the big smile Sora gives to Donald Goofy in KH1. Actually, scrap that. Peak would be Richard Epcard's voice just saying, come.
Well, it's come to the darkness, but you can just like spam it, you know?
Yeah, come. All right, that's everybody's answers, Jay. What do you got for this one?
For me, I need to have like I'm thinking like specifically for like a glider, bruh. Like, just give me the like wave of darkness as a glider. That'd be so dope,
sure.
dude. That'd be so sick. Like
Maybe it plays the song while you do it too.
Ooh, yeah, that would be tight. Well, they added that. They've added that. I forgot to ask. Because, like, they made it so you can have music that plays while you're dropping, and you can, like, customize it.
Hell yeah.
So that literally could be a thing. And then also they could add it into Fortnite Festival through that.
Oh, add some Yoko into Fortnite Festival?
That'd be pretty banging.
You know, I do want to comment before you continue. It's a little tough and ironic that Epic just laid off like 1,000 fucking people, and we're talking about what they should add to Fortnite.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of tough.
That's true.
I forgot about it, and then you saying Fortnite Festival made me think about it because I bet a lot of Fortnite Festival people got laid off. So
Yeah. R.I.P.
That's tough. Fuck you, Epic. There's a lot of people to lay off. That's insane. Anyway, talk about more fun Fortnite stuff, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah, so what they should add for like money pixels that I'm gonna like lose later anyway. At least it's not gambling. I just am paying for it outright.
Yeah, you know what? Like to clarify my stance on that. Like I'm not like it sometimes sucks, but I'm not against video games trying to sell us things. If you want that, you can buy it. It's a choice. I'm not okay with them going, hey, there's a 1% chance you're gonna get this one thing you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? It still
you
sucks
don't get
that they're gonna
stronger
pull
for
away
having
from
the
you.
skin.
Right, and it doesn't affect gameplay. It's just like, oh, this is like a cool thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm more into that. I personally don't play Fortnite myself, so like I have spent money on DLC before, but it's not like a random chance that you'll get that DLC. You know
I guess I don't know how the collabs are going. I don't know if it's like a rev share, because it's like a rev share. That's cool too.
Yeah.
Probably not at this
Probably
point.
not. I'm guessing they probably give the company a certain amount of money, and then they say yes.
Right, like I guess I don't know, like how much power does Fortnite have with these collabs, right? Where it's like, I'm sure people want to collab with them, so do they have to pay Fortnite because it's like basically marketing, you know?
I think it
I don't even
depends
know.
on the company, right? Like
Right.
I think there's probably been, I don't know if there's been ones that have paid to be in Fortnite, but they've definitely taken a smaller amount of money, like probably the Brandon Sanderson stuff. You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine that was like a world beater in the sales, but then something like
probably
Marvel,
not.
obviously they're probably paying Marvel quite a bit of money to be in Fortnite.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's like which way does it go? Like, because I
Yeah.
could see it being either way, because it's just like so big. Like, obviously, I think in the last couple years, Fortnite's died down a little bit, but I don't really hear people talk about it that much. I don't really know. I only know like 2 people that still actively play it, so I don't know. I guess I never thought about that. Like, do they pay to be in, or do they get paid to be in? And is it rev share? I don't know.
I'm sure it varies based on the company and the property.
Right. For a skin, bro, I want KH3 Sora, but the alternate, I want to have the Pirates version. That's the alternate I want. That's it's a drippy version, underrated version.
Yeah.
As a pickaxe, I want specific. This would never happen again, but specifically, I want Guardian Soul from KH2, the orange one. Let me get that one.
Okay.
And then back bling. Let me get like a regenerating Paupu fruit that like as an emote you can like grab it and like take a big old bite out of it, like bite a corner off of it.
Can
It'd be
other
juicy.
people join in on the emote and share it with you?
Yeah, maybe it's like also shareable emote. That'd be dope.
Okay. I like that.
And then I can see Peter Griffin sharing a Paupu fruit with Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, dude. Now we're talking.
That's the thing we're not thinking about here.
For me, I want Ansem Secret Darkness.
That's
and I want
hilarious.
his back bling to be the Come Guardian, obviously.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then I think you can't go wrong with like if you just include like the Kingdom Key and Oblivion and Oathkeeper, like those are the 3 probably most iconic Keyblades
Yeah.
as pickaxes. And then I want Ansem's specific emote to just be like kind of like an aura farm where like he kind of just floats.
He like
with his arms
levitates up
crossed.
into the air. Yep.
Yeah, and then maybe if you have the Come Guardian equipped as your back bling. I keep saying black bling. I don't know, 'cause
It's like a weird
tongue
tongue
twister.
twister, low-key.
Back bling, the Come Guardian also like comes out and poses, you know? So it's like, yo, come fuck with us if you want to try, you know? Like, that kind of shit. I'd be hyped
Yeah,
for
because
that.
then you could also have Hatsune Miku do that same thing with the Come Guardian, and then it's just like, it's just cinema.
Yeah, exactly. Peter Griffin.
Exactly. Bugs Bunny. They just added Bugs Bunny, I know.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can he dress up like a girl?
And I don't know if there's a tutu variant. There might be.
Did you ever think it was hot when Bugs Bunny?
No, I don't think I ever thought that.
Oh yeah, me neither. Yeah, I never did either. Yeah, so I don't know. The Fortnite thing seems like a real rumor to me, but I don't know if it's gonna happen now because I think I said in the last episode, like Epic released this thing talking about like, hey, like these leaks have really affected our partnerships with these different, companies. And so I wonder if because the Disney and Square Enix of it all, that there was some cold feet that was gotten there. I don't know.
I guess I don't really understand that.
We'll never know.
Like, I get like it's shitty to have your stuff like be leaked because you don't control when the information drops and like maybe some of the hype is killed from it. But like somebody leaks that there's a Super SpikeGhetti Bros collab with Fortnite. Does that make me not want to do that with them? Not really. Maybe it was not finalized, right? And so then maybe it made the contract negotiations harder to get done, right? I guess, yeah, if I was in talks and then they were like leaking it, it's like, okay, you guys are just unprofessional because you're like, there's some type of leak going on here. I guess, maybe, but I don't know.
It brings to mind a situation that I knew about the video game Rocksmith. You remember that? I mean, it still exists now.
Yeah.
It's a game where you play through songs with a real guitar or bass, and it helps you learn how to play. And there's a really big modding scene for that game, or at least there was for Rocksmith 2014, and where people would add whatever songs they wanted by taking the PC version and modding it. And Rocksmith wasn't very happy with this. It's Ubisoft, I believe, that publishes Rocksmith.
I think so.
Because it was hurting their negotiations with bands. And it was specifically, from what I understand, Coheed and Cambria, one of my favorite bands, who never, I don't think ever really showed up on Rocksmith, because when they were negotiating, the either their manager or their representation or whatever was like, hey, we've seen videos of our songs on your game, and you guys are, they didn't quite understand like the modding part of it, right? And they were like, you guys allow this, so why would we negotiate with you, basically? Right? So they're like, hey, you're already illegally using our songs, we don't want to do business with you. When really that's a misunderstanding of how modding works, but it was hurting their negotiations with bands because, you know what I mean? Because they were like, well, you guys can't control your own, like, ecosystem. Like, why would we negotiate? That's what I read. So I think it's a similar thing.
Yeah, we don't want to join into Fortnite because people are gonna use like Gooner emote combos.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But so it's not the exact same situation, right? But it's like, hey, we're negotiating, and then this shit leaked out. Like, you're unprofessional. We don't want to work with you or whatever. I can't believe that's what happened with Kingdom Hearts, because they've worked with Disney before, right? With the Marvel and like, all that stuff.
Right.
But you're also not seeing like Mickey Mouse in Fortnite, right? So maybe certain properties they're more okay with being mixed in with all those other properties than others, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. So what's next week's question of the week, Jay? Or by next week's, I mean next episode's.
Yeah.
All right, here's the question of the week for next episode. I want you to give your honest review of Kingdom Hearts 1 from this playthrough.
Give us a score out of 10. No, out of fucking 5 stars, bro.
Score out of 10.
Score out of 10.
And give me 3 positives and 3 negatives. That's the format. Score out of 10, 3 positives, 3 negatives. Like you were. Now, I don't want a whole ass article, OJ. Okay, I want like if you were taking your whole ass review and minimizing it down to like be like a digestible chunk, like a 3 and 3.
Like a little stinger that they would possibly use on their advertisement. The TLDR at the bottom that everybody scrolls to anyway.
So that is the format. If you go outside that format, I will make fun of you, Captain Bacon. That's right. I'm calling you out first.
Be like Zaltrax and just ace it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Ansem Report Podcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and hanging out with us on this journey. We will be back. Like I said, we're recording on April 15th, and we will be back. That means on April 17th. Friday, April 17th is our next episode, where we will complete Kingdom Hearts 1. And then we'll talk about what we're going to do from there after the book club, this section of the book club. So, again, appreciate everybody hanging out with us for this and doing this. It's been a lot of fun. I love that we've been able to kind of keep the podcast going this way, and we're going to keep going with it. So, anything else you want to say to the people at home, the fans, Jay?
Rest in piss, missing link.
Rest in piss. Okay. Well, I thank you, everybody. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key, baby.
Thank you.
No, fuck off.
Rest in piss.